today I'm back out on the trail again. This time I got my gimbal, so it should be a lot more stable than yesterday's picture was, even when I was like walk like this. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. But anyway, I got my gimbal. I'll give you a little brief look around of where I'm walking to, trying to get up that way. So just park my truck down there. Just right there. Stay, don't get stolen. Gotta always say that when you leave, because you never know. So anyway, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna show you guys some petrified wood. Now, this is something I found a long time ago, and you know, petrified wood's always kind of fascinating to look at. It's a bit of a climb to get up there. I also brought my drone with me. XO drones, shout out to them. They got awesome drones. If you want a comparable, if not better, if you want a comparable, if not better drone than the Mavic DJI ones, and you don't have to pay a huge expense for them, XO is the way to go. I think mine's the Ranger Scout. Pretty decent unit, you know. I can fly for probably about 30 minutes on each battery. Easily reach all the way up there without a big deal, to the top of these cliffs up here. Easily reach up there and fly back down, which I'll do some of that later. Like I said, I got a heck of a climb in front of me. So, as you can see the valley below. Well, I had my hat stuck in my door of my truck for a while. It got a little smashed, but that's okay. We're all allowed to be smashed a little bit once in a while, right? Okay. So yeah, I gotta get back over here. I gotta get up. I gotta do some mountain climbing to get up on the top up there. Is where this petrified wood is, and it's ancient too. So I'm not in a real remote area here. It's an area that I'm really familiar with. You know, and there's hiking trails and stuff up through here too. But so it's not a big secret place or anything like that. But I highly doubt too many people have decided to scale this cliff, this rock cliff wall over here, just to see some petrified wood, which you can't really see it from the ground. You got to get up to it. I'm hoping, because it's a southern faced, it has southern facing exposure on that rock face. I'm hoping that most of the snow's off, so I have a safe journey up the hill. That's, you know, all we can hope for, is always to be safe. But man, hopefully my hat will flatten out. It's pretty flat. It's pretty squished since fall time. That was the last time I used it, this last fall in a class. So I know I still got to go another 20 minutes down the road here or something like that. And then once I get there, I'll turn you guys back on. I'll just not bore you with me getting out of breath as I go up the mountain. Okay, so now I got, let me bring you back here. Now I got to the area just now where I need to be at. So, boy, it is steep too, I'll tell you that. I mean, it is a darn steep mountain. You can see beside me. It doesn't look like a lot. Cameras never do heights justice, especially in climbing like this. So now, since it's been a year or so since I tried getting up here, I'm gonna come up and try to find the proper place to do it. I think I'm here actually right now. This is, I think, where I need to be at. So let's see what happens. We'll just take our time. And I'm in no big hurry. So if I just take my time, I can get there. Yeah, there's that tabletop part. Oh man, it is steep. I'm telling you guys, it's steep, and then there's also climbing, like I said, I have to do, so it's going to be an interesting feat. I don't know, I'll get her though. I have no doubt in my mind it wouldn't be the first time. I just got to pace myself, take my time, don't get injured. There is still a little bit of snow in the shady spots, so if I try to stay in the sun, that should be okay. All right, so I'm about a third of the way up this thing. My gimbal's trying to straighten out the camera because I'm actually leaning. This is that severe of a angle. You can see here now, maybe you can see a little bit different. This leg is quite a ways up higher than the other leg is. But let me give you an idea of the view from this point so far. So, and you can see down there is where I came up. Now I still have to go up all this, and like I said, it is steep. So that's where I'm heading, up to that rock face. It's still probably 100 yards from me, so about 300 feet or so more, but it's just like, I'd say 70% incline. Let me turn you around this way to give you an idea of this. Kind of to give you a better idea of how steep it is. I mean, it's still just so hard to get that perspective from a camera's point of view, but yeah, it's pretty gnarly. So I'm going up this rock face here. You can see it's just a big scree slope, and I have to be really careful not to crap any of those rocks out. And then right over here to the right, over my shoulder, there's a whole nother scree field there. It's not bad up here, but the problem is with the scree slope that's this direction is it's full of pine needles and it's super slippery. So I just kind of took a break for a second, and I'm actually just going to, I think I'm just going to kneel like this for now and just take a little break. I do got to watch for ticks perhaps. I don't know. It's not quite warm enough for ticks, I don't believe. So I'm not going to really care too much about it right now. I never really have a problem with the ticks anyway. Alright guys, well, so now you can kind of see what I have to do. Is I got to go up this thing all the way up here, boom. And I think it's right back behind this bush. I believe it's right over there is where I need to go up, directly above us. I won't know until I start walking up there and look at it again. It's been a long time, but I'll find it. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just leaving my stuff right here. I think I'll just leave it right there. Alright, so I just left my camera right underneath my coat. My coat's covering everything up to protect it. I also have my drone in there and my coffee. Can't forget that. Now stay, don't get stolen. Now, my next feat is to go up this thing all the way up there. Got everything stashed. I won't be as hot now. So I'll turn you back around so you can see me. Okay, so let's get after it. So one thing I wanted to tell you, when you're trying to get up out of a spot like this and you're up high like this on a slope that's pretty substantial like this, and you have this type of rock, this is basalt, real loose scree slopes, look for these spots that are kind of like washed out, like little pockets of rocks that get hung up and others get pocketed into them. Those are pretty substantial to stand on. You don't have to worry about falling off of those or slipping down. Like right here, a matter of fact, let me show you right there. There's one that goes right through here. You can see it's just kind of pulled up. So when I step here, it holds it up a lot better, holds me up. So I'm always walking in those spots. It's almost like there's no rocks there barely. And it seems to help considerably. Whoa, sorry. It is steep, I'm telling you what. It's not easy going at all if you see what I'm working with. But you can do it, but like I said, you gotta take your time. So now, I think we can get a better indication of what we're looking for here. All right, so right there, going up here, I'm trying to get up to these rock formations so I can get up around them and find the, sure it's right here. Yeah, it is, it's over there, that's right. Okay, I do know where it is, it's up over the corner there. We're on it, that's cool. So, anyway, now that I know where it's at, once I get up there, I can weave my way up there and walk up, and I'll show you some stumps and things like that are buried in the rock from thousands of years ago that are still there, but it's solid rock now, but it's a tree. It's really fascinating. And I believe this is the first time this has ever been documented in this area. I mean, I haven't seen anybody ever walk up here. And obviously you see why. It's not easy walk. Indicated behind me here, you can see those scree slopes, and they run all the way back around that corner there, and some of them go way down into the trees and even down into the bottom of the canyon over here. We're getting closer, guys. We're getting real close. Oh. All right, so now when I get into this position, now I'm just using my I'm just using grass to hold on to, so I can climb up to this little lip ridge you can see right there beside my shoulder, right underneath this branch. Oh man, it is hard going there. All right, I made it to here. I'm at the base of this canyon, or of this rock face now. Made it up. It seemed like it'd be harder than it was, to be honest with you. It's just spring and I'm not into it, not used to it yet. So you can see, one thing that I notice here is, you know, all animals take the path of least resistance. And if you look down here, where my feet are primarily, you can see a trail that cuts through here, right? That is a deer trail. And the reason you can tell, let me get you, okay, sorry, I'm out of breath. Let me get you around here so you can see what I'm talking about. The reason that's nice about finding deer trail is because you see their scat, it's pretty fresh. It means they've been taking this trail, probably down to get to the water. Ideally, that's exactly what they're doing. Well, guys, now I'm right here, right at this. So let's see what kind of animals we can find. This is an interesting, check this out. This hole right here goes all the way through and comes out over there. That's from root system growth. Oh, and then up here, guys, we got a bald eagle. Look at him. Look at the bald eagle up there. Not a very big one, but he's still flying around. Yeah, there he is. Sorry about the sunlight. If it's in your eyes, I'll try to guard it with my hand. But yeah, would you believe that the bald eagle was, there he is right there floating around, pretty much going extinct probably about 2 decades ago, a little less than that probably, and now they're back there everywhere, and it's an awesome thing. But yeah, they used to be very rare to see, and now you can see them pretty often. We see them all over the place. All right, so I'm at the base of this. I'm standing right at the bottom. You can see all these cracks. Just giving you the layout of where I'm at, so you can kind of see what's behind me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm up on the top of this flat. You know, it gets flat up on the top here. But what I'm gonna do, still got to get up a little bit more scree. Whoa. Okay, this is where I gotta use the rock, but look at this, guys, look. That's what I'm talking about. It's just crazy. You think you can trust this stuff, and look, it just crumbles off. It's not good climbing rock at all, and it's very dangerous here. So always be aware of that. So here in a minute, we'll be coming up on our first, let me get back to me. Sorry with this gimbal.
A few moments later.
Oh man, they're both circling. I hope they're not. So we got 2 hawks and that bald eagle up here circling. And you know, it's like one of those things. Boy, I hope they're not circling for me. I don't know if you can see them up there or not, but yeah, they're circling around, probably wanting to eat me. They're like, well, if he dies, that's cool. We have food, guys. Let me see if I can see them in the viewfinder here. The sun is in a horrible location right now. Oh yeah, they're directly above me basically. Yeah, I hope they don't think I'm gonna die. But okay, so here comes our first specimen of this that nobody's seen. This is a log, the cortex of the log that is exposed to the elements outside here. And when we get close to it, you'll see what I mean. And this is where it begins. And geologically speaking, it's a very fascinating spot because of what's here and what's happened over the millennia, you know. The way the earth rolls like this and it has these materials in it, there was a huge thing that happened. And what caused a lot of this stuff here, and up here there's another piece of a stump. What caused this was the Great Floods in Missoula. Missoula Lake was a huge lake, and it was pretty much blocked up by an ice dam. Well, the ice dam broke, and of course water poured from there, you know, western Montana, all the way into Oregon, parts of Oregon down there. So, you know, it took a lot of the earth and just spun it and turned it. And let me turn the camera around here behind me so you can see. So right behind me, this is the cortex of what's left of a petrified log. So you can see the round diameter of it. We'll get up closer in a minute and I'll show you that. Also, to my left here, in this hole right there, you can see that big column that's going up. That is actually a piece of a stump that's been rotated. Now, more evidence of heavy activity, pretty much just annihilate anything that was living in this area, is see this big discoloration behind my head here? That's a big roll of material. And what it is it's basalt that's been turned up, also pulling up the soil with it at that time, folding it through the earth like this. And you can see, because there's all these voids behind my head, a crack there, a crack above it. Further up there, there's another crack, and they all have different layers of sediment that's been deposited in these areas from some sort of massive flow. And this was a lahar, and that's what that is that you're looking at. That's a solid piece of petrified mud. So, you know, it's petrified mud. You got petrified logs that were turned into it here. You can see right there, that's a petrified log. Let's get up a little closer to get you a little better picture of it. There's better specimens up higher too. This is just the lower end. Okay, let me get my footings. See if I can, it's kind of hard to get you up on top there. But one way you can always tell if something is a petrified piece of wood is right on the top of the log. Generally, there's going to be a telltale sign. You see that moss that's growing up here and the dark coloration that's on top? That is bark. And see, it's many layers of bark as well that's inside here. You can see under my fingers there you go. Layer, 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 layer. And you can just think of this was a big white pine or yellow pine tree several thousand years ago that's been tumbled in this mess. And this was a pileup. And if you look at the topography here too, you would see what I mean by massive, you know, geological change by natural aggression. So something like a watershed. You can see across the way there, that big cutout, this whole trough of land. And then you can see the flat top plateaus. Originally, those wouldn't have been flat. Those would have been more pointed. But as the flows came through Montana and came down through this valley, all the way down, it folded material up onto the banks that were already there. Thus, if you go over here, you get these, whoops, sorry guys, you get these huge cliff faces across over there that are all rock across there. And that is also what was carved out. So anytime there was a big bank, it would just eat it away. And that took a long time for that runoff to go away and maintain, you know, life again here. But a lot of our topsoil in eastern Washington was stripped right away and deposited in the Klamath Valley in Oregon. And that's an interesting thing. Oh, so here's another specimen. If you look right underneath here, you see that's bark right there. That would be a fir tree. And this is a huge stump that actually fell out. And you can see, and that used to be up. I used to have to climb to this, and you can see the geological change where this thing actually fell over out of the mountain here. So this is so dangerous. And that's what I'm saying. This isn't a natural occurrence. Well, it is a natural, but it's not something that was happened over millions of years. This is something that happened in a quick flash, you know, when a water erupted down through the valleys, you know, and just took material and just deposited it wherever it would smash into. And you can see evidence up here on this embankment behind me. See all that sand that's crusted into it? See all that sand? That makes this a really loose face. But this is a great specimen because you can really see the wood grains that are inside of this. Let me get you back to me. Hold on, I'm sorry. So you can really see the wood grains that are in here. But this has fallen relatively recent, and I don't want to kill myself. So this is what petrified wood is, though. So if you look here, you can really see the bark detail. See the detail of that bark. Solid as a piece of iron. Watch this. See, it's a rock, but that's the thing. It's petrified, solid rock now, but it's thousands of years old. Again, right up above my hand here, I'm pointing right underneath of it. This is a big slab of wood as well. But we got to be really careful of any geological change that could occur, but you don't know, because this whole rock ledge above me, it's right there that you can see. And I mean, like I said, these pictures don't do it justice because of where we're at, you know, on the slight inclines that we are in. But that is really dangerous. But I did want to show you what petrified looks like, petrified wood looks like. And here you can really see the wood fibers up close here. See that? This is a piece of wood, solid as a rock. Lots of it through here though. And then right here, again, petrified wood. You know, all that right through there is petrified wood. Underneath, that's a piece of a log. You can see, let me get up a little closer to you for you guys. So here, you can see the log actually, and the cuts in the log where the bark was. There you go. Now you can see the slices of how the bark was how it was left. Pretty interesting. I'm trying to get my hand in the right spot so you guys can see that without too much sun. Very interesting though. And see, here's some interesting material here. More deposits from things. And that's just solid wood. More wood, but now it's solid rock. So this is a very uneasy feeling being up here by this big rock that could come tumbling down and kill me any second. Because that is a big stone. That is a big chunk of rock that fell down in that void there, and it's just sitting on that stump. That petrified piece of wood right there is the only thing keeping that up, is just that little piece of wood, just right there. So I don't want to be on top of that or anywhere around that anymore. But I used to climb up and around it, and you have to get up top to see it. But very unstable land. You got to be very careful in these when you start seeing scree slopes. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention before I just get off the phone, or you know what I mean, not record anymore, is when you're going down or up the hill, try to side hill the best you can. It allows you, if you just go straight down and you kick something loose, it could come loose, you know, 2 minutes later and knock you in the head. But if you're going side to side, you go down a little bit, then turn and you go back. So that's what I'll do, is I'll go down a little bit like this, and then I will turn my body around again. Now I'm facing the opposite way, and then I'll go down like this a little ways. And that way I have a view of anything that might be coming down the mountain to kill me. And I have a view pretty decently of what I'm stepping on. Plus, when I'm side heeling like that and my feet are going in at an angle sideways, I have more surface area that's touching the ground. Will give me a little bit better stability when I'm coming down in this loose material. And that's all you gotta do, is just zigzag your way back down. You can see, whoa, you can see right behind that bush is my gear. So I got back down off of this. It wasn't too dangerous, I didn't die. But I just wanted to point that little tip out of not dying when you're coming down. Just do some side heeling, maybe go 6 to 8 feet back and forth. Just zigzag your way down. Be a lot safer for you, easier to recover if you do fall. You don't have as much momentum if you're going sideways and you end up falling. You can grab things because your legs are going to slip out, and it's going to do this to you. Whoop. Now, if you're going down forward and you fall, you're going to go forward, and then you're going to have the inertia of heading downhill and gravity pushing you over head over heels, making more speed progress, hurting you worse. But if you're going sideways and you slip, you're just going to slide on your side, and then you can grab stuff easily. Less chances of a mechanical injury that way. And it doesn't work you as good when you're going up and down. Easier on your knees going down. You can see in highways they do it too, because it's just easier than going straight up a steep hill. Cut that hill down, corner, 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 and it makes everything a little easier on the truck, just like in semis, you know, or cars going up hills. And same with us, just easier on our mechanical. So anyway, the last video I just put out, if you didn't go check it out, it's on shelters. I just put it up yesterday. That's a really good informational source, just to get you an idea of what might happen and what you might be looking for in an environment like I was in, or any environment. Very adaptable skills if you learn them right. So that's one of the things about it is, you know, just making sure that everybody's safe out there. And when you're having fun, you know, leave nothing but footprints everywhere you go. Pack it in, pack it out. And yeah, so remember to like, subscribe, and comment if I have that option on. For some reason it's broken, but I'll get it fixed. But yeah, like, subscribe. You have that Patreon account. I said it right, I think. Patreon, whatever. And I'll put a link on that too, probably about right there, right next to my head here. I'll put it. So if you need anything, you know, you can catch me there. Donate to us so we can keep getting out here and making these videos like this. Taking you on these little adventures. This is just a quick one. We're gonna do some more advanced stuff this summer when it gets, you know, where I can get into spots. Right now, there are places I want to take you. Still has 4 or 5 feet of snow in spots, so I ain't driving there. So not right now. So that's more of a May or June thing. So Travis Johnson, Northwest Nevada School.